So, welcome all of you. Thank you for joining this webinar today with Network Tech Lab and JioCloud. So, we will be just checking upon on how JioCloud can help you to build a simplified cloud, and how it will help you to reduce cost, and how it will help you to manage the flexibility. So if we look at today, there are three major problems around the industry that we are facing. So one is the simplicity, one is security, and one is scalability and savings. Okay, so we will be just touching upon how pre-bundled solutions from JioCloud will help you to get into a cloud, and how it will be easy for a onboarding. On security perspective, we can check upon how real-time cybersecurity intelligence and certifications would help us to run on JioCloud. uh, on the cost saving part, JioCloud comes with a pay as you go pricing offer, and uh, the best part is like that we get a 50% of cost saving other than the competition. So that is the benefit that we are getting here with JioCloud. So just to introduce about Network Tech Lab, hi, myself Akshay. I take care of marketing at Network Tech Lab. So as you already aware, I will just go through a short introduction about Network Tech Lab. So Network Tech Lab is aiming for a simplifying technology and empowering a business growth for all our customers. We are a 360-degree IT transformation company, power and energy consultant, and service provider company. We are providing end-to-end solutions for a modern IT infrastructure, cybersecurity, cloud, networking, IoT, and data centers. We also provide IT infrastructure as a service. We are situated in Mumbai. We have a headquarter in Mumbai. We have a presence over 13 cities over India, and two overseas locations over Singapore and Dubai. We have around 7,000 plus customers, and we are just focusing on our core values to deliver a better performance to our customers. So our core values consist intensity, integrity, innovation, and intelligence. To start with today's webinar, we have Mr. Ali Khan from Network Tech Lab. We have Mr. Yashasvi Watts from JioCloud. We have Nikhil from JioCloud. Uh, so they will be touching upon how JioCloud can help you to deliver better performance when you think about the cloud. So first we'll start with the Yashasvi, and then we'll move towards a question answer round, and then Mr. Ali Khan and Geo team members can touch upon the business benefits. Yeah. So we also have a Mr. Rupesh Gandhi with us. So he will be helping us with how commercials can work for a Geo Cloud. So that's it from my end. Thank you. Over to you, Yash.
Thanks, Akshay, for that introduction, and thank you everyone for attending this event. We know your time is important, and we appreciate you taking out time for us. Let me just present my screen, and Akshay, just give me a shout out when you can see the presentation. And I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, yes, we can hear you, and we are able to see your deck.
Great. So with that, so guys, a little some hygiene things. There's a question answer tab. You can keep on asking questions. Some of our colleagues will keep on answering them for you, and we will try and pick up some questions at the end of the presentation for everyone. Feel free to ask as many questions as you want. There is no right and wrong question. Just ask them and we'll be happy to answer. With that, so I'll introduce myself. My name is Yashashvi Vats. I'm an AVP product marketing with JioCloud. I head partner marketing and marketing for our newly launched product known as JioCloud PC. So that's my role. And with that, here we go. So what is Jio doing? Jio is trying to transform Bharat, and cloud is the next big thing. We did this transformation, by becoming the number one VoLT player globally, and we are on the way of becoming the number one 5G player now. We have the world's largest mobile data consumption with about 11.1 GB per user per month. Uh, we are the first telecom provider for which the entire data network runs on IPv6 technology globally. Uh, the voice consumption we increased from about to about two times from 300 minutes per user to about 700 users per minute. We brought the prices down from about 19 times from 250 rupees per GB to about 13 rupees per GB. We increased the internet speed from an average of 256 kbps to 21 mbps, which is a 90 times higher. And with 5G, this is going up even further. We have more than, this number is a little dated. We now have more than 600 million subscribers and counting. And we are proud to become the largest hyperscale cloud service providers in India. With that, what is the JioCloud all about? So this is what JioCloud is all about. So we have a telecom side, which is we are a leading provider for wireless technology. Um, then we have a platform side, which we has JioMart, JioMeet, MyJio. Uh, then we have small business bundles for SMBs at where we are offering enterprise grade cloud solutions at one tenth of the price. And we launched them in April 2021. We have more than 15,000 subscribers since then. Our recent investments have been into healthcare, which is Care Expert, Education Imbibe, Now Flow, it's a discovery ability platform for uh, SMBs, Haptic, which is a conversational AI platform, Listings, which is Just Dial, and others. For companies like yourselves, we also have payment and purchase and payment options, which is GeoPOS and Geo Money. And at home and entertainment, we have Geo Fiber, Geo Savan, Geo TV, Geo Smart Living, which basically allows us to give a full bouquet of services. And our vision is to transform Bharat to digital Bharat, and that's what we are trying to do with our Geo Cloud offering. So what we want to do, we want to democratize cloud. Like when we launched the Geo mobile services, we democratized the use of 4G data in India. From people who had no access to data, now everyone has access to mobile data, and they're consuming uh, YouTube videos, Instagram reels, YouTube reels like never before. We want to do the same thing with cloud usage, and we want to digitalize the non-digital India. We want companies which can think that they cannot afford cloud to come on cloud, use cloud. We want to accelerate the startup ecosystem. Startups can get the next generation of innovation of digital solutions through our platforms. We want to transform our SMB customers by giving them moving them from physical servers to cloud, giving them integrated bundles of cloud servers plus networks plus solutions. And last but not the least, offering platforms, software as a solution, and industry solutions to help both small and large enterprises. So this is in a nutshell how our, I know it's a little complicated slide, but this is in a nutshell what Geo Cloud is all about. So on the top layer, we have enterprises, government, SMBs and shops, home, mobile and consumers. So we have solutions for all of them, and we reach them through various channels with partners like Network Lab. We have direct sales people who can reach out to them along with the partners. We have a digital channel that they can go on to. We have an ISVs, system integrators, aggregators, and we have startups, incubators, and accelerators. Through them, we reach out to all these consumers. Then on top of that, we have a Geo Business Cloud digital marketplace, basically where you have an SMB cloud where we are have launching services like desktop as a service, cloud server in a box, a shop cloud, security in a box, cloud connect, and so on and so forth. Then we have our own first party services. These are companies that either Jio has created or invested a lot in. For example, EasyGov is a governance tool. Entire Karnataka government runs on EasyGov to reach out their citizen programs through that. Then we have Reverie, which is a language translation company, Mbibe, an education company, and so on and so forth. Apart from that, we are also bringing various ISV solutions to our customers. These can be vertical ISVs like ISVs for education, ISVs for government, healthcare, and other industries. On top of that, we also have horizontal ISVs, which everybody needs. For example, an ERP solution in the company, a payroll and HR software, a backup and security service, a surveillance service, and so on and so forth. We are also forming industry clouds on healthcare, education, banking and finance, agriculture, manufacturing, government, media and entertainment. And I'll talk about the industry cloud a little more in detail. And then we are trying to form a consumer cloud with home cloud, mobile cloud, and other services to manage all this. And a lot of customers have their own. You might have been using, say, an AWS or a GCP or or for example your own on-prem services. So we have also created a service known as HCMP. Through one single platform you can manage all these. Then we have our own tech platforms, which is Geo, Microsoft Azure, Microsoft Office, Red Hat, Google Cloud, and so on and so forth. And with that, we are trying to create private cloud, hybrid cloud, and below all this, or rather on top of all this, we have our security and compliance, which we have various ISO, MIT compliant, and so on and so forth. So how did this all come together? This came together by a meeting with our chairman, Mr. Mukesh Ambani, and the CEO of Microsoft, Mr. Satya Nadella, where both of them had tried to enter into this long-term agreement where Jio became not only a strategic cloud partner, but a co-innovator with Microsoft. We buy services from Microsoft as well as we became a vendor to Microsoft. And on top of that, we are a CSP or a reseller to all their cloud services. So which means any Microsoft cloud anywhere else in the world, you don't have to go to anybody else. Through Network Techlab, you can buy it from Jio. This is our collaboration with various industry powerhouses. Now Floats is a digital platform where you can create your own websites. You can go live with a website for as low as like 25-30 minutes. You need to do translations. For example, let's say you are a Mumbai-based business, and you are now also running services in Ahmedabad, and you want your website to be in Gujarati for that. So Reverie can do that automatically for you. And then we have Radisys, we have Haptic, we have our Microsoft and Google Cloud services, and so on and so forth. A lot of these services can become handy for you. So what is JioCloud? Why it was built? So JioCloud was built to address the needs of India. It is built for India by India's largest service provider, which is Jio. We have two dedicated Jio cloud locations. One is India West and one is in Jio India Central. Now, these two cloud data centers, while they are made for Jio and they are owned by Jio, the technology that we run is Microsoft Azure. To access these, you have to go to portal.azure.com to access, which means you get the best of the technology with an Indian price and an Indian company. The data centers are actually managed by Microsoft people. So there is no service disruption, nothing of that. It's the world-class standard there. And because we are located into different seismic zones, we offer the best DR and data residency capabilities in India. Now, if you are aware, there is a US cloud law which says that any US-based company will have to provide access to a data center anywhere in the world in case the federal government in US asks for it. Any data on these two data centers, while it is managed by Microsoft, does not come under the purview of the US cloud law, which makes us 100% compliant to the Indian data laws, which says data of Indian citizens should not be accessible by any other government. So with Microsoft Azure running, we have the best security, data security in residency. We have the highest number of certifications and compliances. Any Microsoft certificate and compliance for their data centers is applicable on our two data centers as well. Our services that we run in those two data centers are comparable with the Microsoft data center in Central India or Pune region. We can run from VMs to IoT to data to AI, everything on these two data centers. And there is more. So let's say you are running on our data centers and now you want a backup NDR, say on the Microsoft Chennai region. You can get that from Jio through Network Tech Lab. So Network Tech Lab as your partner can give those Microsoft Azure services anywhere else in the world as well to you. So you don't have to worry about going to any other, service provider for that. Now, this is how our bouquet of digital services have been growing. We are there in mobility, everyone knows that. Then we are there in connectivity with providing business Wi-Fi, MPLS, VPNs, leased lines. We're in voice with our GeoMeet, Trunk, and IP-centric services. We're in business applications by Geo Attendance, Microsoft 365. We are providing marketing solutions through Geo Online, Just Dial, and others. Then we have a security services of Geo Smart Monitoring and Geo IoT devices. We have our own IoT services, and then we have the cloud solutions, SaaS, IaaS, and PaaS, all three of them available to you. So why JioCloud? Because so we call this Geo 10x, the 10 reasons that you should be with Geo. The first and foremost is JioCloud Connect and Geo Azure. You don't have to buy connectivity separately. It comes, it's a combined offering that we offer. It's a unique alliances that we have with Microsoft and Google in providing the cloud services. We have a very innovative commercial construct. So when you buy cloud from any cloud service provider in the world, be it AWS, Microsoft Azure itself, or Google, you can do a maximum commitment contract of 3 years. Whereas because we own these two data centers, we can give you even up to a 5-year commitment based commercial model, which is unique in the world, not only in India but in the world. Then we can of course deliver you multi-cloud service capabilities. We can help you with GCP. We can help you with Azure. We can help you with JioCloud. One-stop shop which combines connectivity, network, mobility, IoT devices, and edge computing together. We have the largest, sales team and geo centers around the country, and through Network Tech Lab, you can leverage them, for any issues that you ever face. We have the best disaster recovery, 2 seismic zones, 5 regions along with Azure. We are our only hyperscaler which solves the inconsistency in DR availability and cloud plus network solutions. Then we have our own HCMP platform, which I showed in the slide, which can help you manage multiple cloud in a single interface, so that you know what is your consumption, what is your billing happening, is there any service disruption and happening any of your VMs or any of your cloud service across. Then the cloud security solutions that we have, we can do a complete management. We have a complete management platform and services along with security automation solutions available for you. And last is what we are creating is a Geo marketplace, where we have a very huge list of industry ready solutions from backup and DR to HR payrolls, to creating your own business websites, to running an e-commerce site. Everything is available through this marketplace. What is the Geo differentiator? So I spoke about, and Akshay, when he was introducing Geo, he was mentioning a lot of these. So these are the Geo Cloud differentiators. One is simplicity. It's very easy to buy and deploy, and Network Tech Lab is there to help you there. And JioCloud team is there to support Network Tech Lab as well. There is transparent pricing. There is no lock-in. It's pay as you go, as Akshay had mentioned. You pay for what you use. You don't have to worry that okay, I have said that I'm gonna use cloud services worth say $100,000, but I'm using only say $50,000. So, I'm going to waste another $50,000. No, you pay only for what you use. And you can buy them as a bundle with your existing Jio services. Plus cloud, plus connectivity, it's simple. So that's the simplicity. Then the scale. So we have 5 regions. We have two of our own and three of Microsoft public Azure public regions. We are using the largest cloud in India, which is Microsoft Azure as the technology. We have elastic bandwidth and compute with VMs on demand and everything. So that's the scale by which, for example, let's say you are a small e-commerce company and you are running, a sale period, and now your compute requirement has gone up because of that sale period, because a lot of more traffic coming in. So you can do that on demand here. The third S that we have is the solutions, with the cloud infra, horizontal solutions like ERP, CRM, payment, e-commerce, vertical in the specific industry solutions. That makes the solutions very simple and easy to use. Then the speed by which you can work, you can buy and deploy in minutes. You have 5 regions to choose from for low latency. You have an unmatched network to improve your end user experience. And then services, unmatched services through Network Techlab, as well as the Geo Care service, which is 24/7 and free. Uh, we have our own Geo managed services network, as well as Network Tech Labs managed services that can help you with there. Last is savings, and here you can save anywhere between to 25 to 50% on your total cost of ownership. And there are free usage and POCs that are available, that you can use on JioCloud and JioFiber services. Now the question is, are you moving with the trends? Why you should, while I've been talking about JioCloud, what does JioCloud do? Why JioCloud is beneficial? But one important question is, do you really need cloud? Why? And are you moving to cloud? So the answer to the question is, if you're not moving to the cloud, you're not moving with the trends. The IT landscape has been changing when it comes to cloud. You were at the bottom of the pyramid somewhere here on prem, a few years ago, when everything was happening on, data centers inside the office. You were putting a server room and that was running everything. From that, we moved to, you know, uh, IaaS, or infrastructure as a service, which means everything moved from on-prem to cloud. On-prem was a huge capex, cost. You do a large investment and then you run through that large investment, and burn it through 3 years or 5 years, and then refresh all the thing and reinvest that amount again. From that, we move to an OPEX model where we pay for what we use. What does this mean? That means if you want to experiment something new, start up, you buy a VM, you start that service, use it, and then and you stop using it. You don't have to buy the infrastructure. You can just rent it out. So the cost is lower. Plus, like I said, at the same example of an e-commerce company, imagine a Flipkart. They run a big billion sale roughly twice or thrice in a year. So when they do a big billion sale, their traffic goes 3 times, 4 times. The total sale duration in the entire 12 months would not be more than 30 days. But if they go on-prem and if they buy their own data centers, then they would have to invest, keeping in mind that that increased traffic, and they would use that capacity only for 30 days while they pay for it for the whole 3 to 5 year period that they are looking at a refresh. But with the cloud, they use the minimum. When the sale happens, they increase their capacity and then they decrease their capacity. So there is no extra cost. Plus, in case it goes beyond anticipation, for example, they were assuming that their compute would go 5 times. Instead that it went 7 times, still there's nothing worry. With automations available, the service disruption is zero. The system itself, you know, would give more compute power and it would give a better end user experience. But that was IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Now, from there, people move to PaaS, which is platform as a service. Now, infrastructure also service, you choose your own VM, you set up your own VM, you choose your RAM, you choose your hard disk space, you choose everything. Companies started feeling that if I am moving on cloud, why should I take care of all this? Why doesn't the cloud service provider does? And that's where platform as a service came in. that you just bring your solution. Whatever infrastructure requirement is, we would take care as a platform. You don't have to worry. You don't have to even worry what operating system would work on behind. You just bring your application. And that became PaaS. From PaaS, we shifted to what we call as SaaS. That, why should I even bring my own applications? There are enough applications available. Best example, SAP. Now, companies can create their own ERP, run their own ERP. But why do that? The SAP is available. You just go buy an SAP subscription, put it on cloud, and use for what and you don't have to put a development team to develop the ERP, then a team to manage. You don't need a team which would keep on checking the security vulnerabilities and updating it as and when required. All this is taken care by the software service provider. So a lot of you who might be thinking that they are not on cloud might actually be using a lot of SaaS solutions, and you are actually on cloud even today. But from SaaS, what's the next big thing in cloud? We are now moving to what we call as industry cloud, and I used this term a few times in the presentation before. So industry cloud is a grouping of a lot of these services together. So you will, this slide might give you a more idea for that. For example, at the bottom of the layer, we'll have connectivity. Then we have various IaaS, PaaS, data, tech, AI, and security solutions. On top of that, we have an application layer like SAP, Salesforce, or industry-specific solutions like core banking, core insurance, and via ERPs and stuff. Then there's a personalization on top of that. On top of that, there sits an integration layer with, say, let's say you're a banking company, so an integration layer with Aadhaar or a UPI payment, and so on and so forth. And on top of that, a customization layer where we use artificial intelligence and connect them with your core services. This entire thing, which is, so while this is looks a little complex, it's actually the entire solution becomes tailor-made for an industry. For example, for banking, it would have solutions from running your core banking applications to running, say, customer feedback, lead generation, everything in one solution. So you don't have to go and buy 10 different solutions from 10 different vendors. Everything comes in a box with a customization layer on top of that. If you are, say, a manufacturing company, then it would come with a manufacturing, maybe a Microsoft Dynamics or an SAP. It would come with a logistics solution inside it. It would come with an HR payroll solution for HR roles, and everything on top of that with a customization layer. So what does the Azure services have? So this is Azure services at a glance, and I know there are a lot, and there are more services being added, everything, but it has everything from security and management to basic compute to doing stuff on web and mobile to using developer services where developers can develop using Visual Studio, team project, Azure SDC, and so on and so forth. We have data solutions to store your data, backup. You can have your own analytics and IoT running on top of that, an integration layer with other services that you're doing, media and CDN services in case you have a website with high traffic. Uh, and then you have the hybrid operations on one side, and then the infrastructure services, which sits below all this, which is compute, storage, and networking. And all this is available on JioCloud. And so again, I'm repeating a little of things, but this, for example, JioCloud has an hyperscale IaaS services, AI, IoT, and automation. Then the partner managed services by Network Techlab. We have our security solutions. We have an HCMP to manage multiple clouds, and we have the Geo solutions, which are vertical and horizontal solutions specific to your industry. Now, I'll just go with the basics here. IaaS, we have a widest range of IaaS services to choose from, which is from as basics as compute, which can be Windows, Red Hat, Ubuntu, Docker, then serverless technologies on web, mobile containers, identity solutions like Azure Active Directory, Azure Active Directory domain, and so on and so forth. Storage, we have both blob storage, file, data lake, as well as premium disk available. We have a security layer on zero trust, real time monitoring, and a lot of automation on top of that. Now, let's say if you are not on cloud and you want to move to cloud, then these are how you can, there are various deployment models that you can use based depending on the stage of cloud journey you are. For example, if you're an on-prem, you can do a simple migration to IaaS, which we call as lift and shift. It is very simple. You run a similar environment virtually on the cloud and you just lift your applications and put it there. Let's say you are on IaaS, you can move to serverless technology and you can what we call as modernize. And if you are already in serverless technologies, you can use SaaS IaaS solutions and innovate using that. You can choose the right model as per your readiness. And I can assure you, wherever you move, you save a lot in terms of time, technology, and efficiency, and bring about a lot of efficiency. Uh, Akshay mentioned about pricing. I mentioned about pricing. This is what, so there is, the pricing is absolutely transparent here. The list price, you can actually go to azure.microsoft.com and go to the pricing calculator. I have the URL on top. Here you can just choose the service that you need to use and it would tell you the pricing, what is the estimated pricing that would come. Of course, Network Tech Lab and the JioCloud team is there to help you out in this. We can help, we can work with you on the pricing, we can sit with you, we can understand that. And you can, but you can calculate an hourly and monthly cost easily. Our, our list price for our services is in sync with the with the Azure Pune region, which is central India. But you can check the service availability in Azure status where what services are available. We have a simple pricing calculation that you can use using the pricing calculator. So you can choose the region, operating system, you want what type, what tier, what category, instances, and so on and so forth, and it would tell you what is your average monthly subscription. Very important. See, it says average per month is $143, but it's zero to be charged upfront. You pay at the end on the billing on what you have actually used. This is just an assumption. With that, I come to end of my presentation, and I hope my colleagues have been answering some questions. In case, let me just pick up some questions if we can answer it here. Oh, I don't see any questions. Anybody has any questions?
Yeah, yes. Before can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, yes. So before you take questions from anybody, I have a lot of questions.
Okay.
So I have total three questions. One is, you explained about, layer wise infra. Okay. So layer wise, what are the things that we can get into a, that is question number one. So just want to understand from a use case perspective, or we have a one banking company, for them how this layer wise infrastructure can help. That is the question number one. uh, Second is aligned to that. If I don't want a bundle solution, okay, if I'm already running some other services and I want to just start with some services with JioCloud, uh, so can I do that? That is the second question.
Okay. So I'll answer in one line. You don't have to buy the bundle. You can buy and choose whatever you want to use. You don't have to. You are not dependent on that you have to buy the bundle only. You, for example, let's say the bank is already running, say, their core applications on an Oracle server right now, hypothetically.
Mhm.
And they are creating a new portal for consumers where consumers can buy extra services, additional services. So they can just buy a VM or maybe a serverless or a platform, whatever their need is, separately and use only that. And in fact, their core banking, like I said, Oracle is not available with us right now, not as of now at least. But it will still integrate with that and run.
Okay, okay. So there is no such like we have to completely shift our
No,
infrastructure. So
no,
it is flexible enough, and we can
100%
start with,
flexible.
yeah, we can start with that, and take the test how it works in terms of flexibility, in terms of manageability, and what cost savings it will, and then we can move forward, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So Sagar has asked a question that can I show him the Geo Cloud console? Sagar, I'll actually show two things, and that would give you an idea. Let me know if you can see my screen again.
Yes, we are able to see your screen. Yes,
Uh, can you see my screen?
I can see your screen.
Great,
Yes, we
great.
can.
So I am at Azure status website where it tells basically, what are the services. So if you have America, Europe, Asia, Middle East, Azure government, Azure China, and then you have Geo. Now this has the two Geo regions, and these are the services which is available. The reason I am showing you this is that this is how it is. We are a ring fence data center within Azure, and you wanted to know you wanted to see the portal. So you actually go to the same portal, which is portal.azure.com, and you log in there. So I'll log in from my official email ID. Let me just authenticate myself. And see, this opens up. This is the same interface. Here it says Geo Azure Business Cloud, because this is a Geo Azure, or our uh, it's running on our data center. So that's why it is. But it's the same interface. There is no separate interface that you need to come and see and use. Rupesh, if you are there, you want to add to that anything?
No, no. So just wanted to add on this, Yash, that while Sagar, you mentioned this question, this is for you and for the rest of the audience. The console, the offerings are exactly the same what Microsoft Azure is. So there is no deviation from any of the services. It is just that the Azure services are provisioned from the Geodata Center. So that is all what it is. And which are the services which are up and running? Which are the services? There might be a few services which are still not provisioned. You can go to status.azure.com and get a real-time status, because this website is refreshed every 9 minutes. So you can kind of go to the website and take the status of which are the services. And obviously, if you need any detailed information, you could reach out to the Network Techlab team or the Geo team. The second question is by Jignesh. How could I use JioCloud services in mobile application development based IT companies? So, Jignesh, again, I would repeat the same, comment, that if there are any specific services which you are looking at from a Microsoft Azure perspective, and you are looking at whether those services are available in the Geo data centers, you could go to status.azure.com and you could take a view of it. The other thing what I would definitely suggest, Jignesh, is I will send across my email ID. If you could send a mail to me on a little bit details in terms of what all are you looking at, you know, leveraging cloud services from a mobile application development, whether it is DevOps, whether it is some other services. So we could have a little bit detailed discussion and take it on from there. Thanks.
Yeah, so I wanted to add that only, that you can actually use the DevOps services, Visual Basics, or even GitHub, whatever you want to use for your mobile application development. CI/CD, everything is available on JioCloud. Then we have also have a question from Jignesh. Sorry, we answered the Jignesh question. We had a question from: Is there a costing between difference between from Anurag? Is there a costing difference between Azure and Geo? Well, I mentioned that in the presentation. Our pricing is in sync with the Azure Pune region. Having said that, and I would leave this to the Network Techlab team, they are in better position to offer you, better discounts and better pricing on top of that. Am I saying that right, Rupesh and Akshay?
Yes, yes, definitely. So here the price advantage is the the best point, and I would say that is the beauty that you can leverage since Geo is entering into a cloud. uh, Geo is offering a competitive pricing than the anybody. Okay, so we can leverage this basically to just enter and take the flair of the services. So yes, we have one more question from Mahesh Jaibhai. Is it Geo private? Uh, Geo have a private cloud or a Azure cloud is it?
So I'll answer it like this, and this is very unique, and that's the reason it's a little confusing. So
Hmm.
no cloud service provider, be it Microsoft Azure, AWS, or GCP, has ever created a public cloud for any other company. They create private clouds, which is for their company's own use, but they never create a public cloud. The public cloud is always with them. In our case, this unique partnership, Microsoft has actually created a public cloud for us, which is ring fenced for us. So it's a public cloud, it's not a private cloud. But if you have a private cloud requirement, Geo also does private cloud, and we are doing it for one of the largest banks in the country. We are doing it for Government of India for the NIC data centers. We have that available. Narman has asked a question: How many edge locations in India? See, edge locations can be made on demand. We have a big roadmap for edge computing in India, and I'm sorry, not cannot share the details right now because they're not out public. But you know, just to give you an idea, we have an office in almost every city of the country, and then we have a sales representative in every pin code of the country. Arman, that should give an idea how many edge locations can we create.
This is work in progress, Arman. So, we have a massive plan in terms of, granulizing and, building edge locations which cover the length and the breadth of the country. So, we are building on that, hence cannot share the exact numbers. Plus, if you look at from our perspective, we have a unique opportunity there from edge services because we will build edge locations across the country, and with 5G as the last mile, it gives us a unique opportunity to serve all of those customers who require low or zero latency, networks such as gaming, IoT, and so on and so forth. So yes, we are building a very strong edge value proposition. Thanks.
Akshay, just to sorry, this is a different question, Rupesh. Akshay, I'm sorry, I did not answer your question completely. These are Geo owned data centers, one in Jamnagar, one in Nagpur, and it runs Microsoft Azure. And when I gave a demo of how to access them, that would have given you more idea. And I hope that question is answered.
Yeah, yeah. The intent was that Geo has its own private cloud. That was the intent, right?
No, Geo has its own public cloud powered by Microsoft Azure, not private cloud.
Okay, okay.
Any
So,
more
any
questions?
more questions? If we can, ask, and we have a speakers to answer that. Yeah, so yes, I have one question. So we mentioned about the 5 years commitment and pricing. Okay, so how does that benefit if I consider that with the the existing pricing models offered by the competitors?
So,
How that help customers basically?
so it helps customer in forecasting basically. For example, the biggest, you know, companies increase prices every day, right? And we are no different. Netlabs is no different. Every company increases price with inflation, with the market realities, with increasing in their own input costs, right?
Hmm.
But with a and so all cloud companies worldwide offer a 1 to 3 year protection on price increase maximum. This depends on deal. This depends on various parameters and factors, in which we don't have time to go into details. With Geo, because we own these data centers, we own the pricing. We can do a deal for more than 3 years, which no other service provider, no other competitor does. So, which means, let's say you are a, you are a e-commerce company, or you are a say, let's say you are a, a manufacturing company, and you want a cost forecast for the next 5 years. We can help you do that. The other cloud service providers cannot do that, because we can give a price commitment for that long. Imagine, imagine a government bank, or any government entity. Most of the government entities require a price guarantee for 5 years. We are the only one which can give that. I hope that answers the question, Akshay.
Yeah, yes, yes.
I think if there are not no more questions, where it is located, Arman, we answered it is in Jamnagar and Nagpur.
So we have one more question from Afroz. Can we do a reserve instance 1 or 3 years?
Rupesh, do you want to pick that question?
We'll take both the questions what Afroz has asked. So, Afroz, thanks for asking a very pointed question. Is there a difference between Azure and Geo? This question always comes up when we meet customers, partners, external stakeholders in the market. So, fundamentally, from a technology perspective, there is no difference because what Geo is offering is Azure services provisioned from the India data centers. So, this is the same Microsoft Azure services what we offer, but it is from Geo. Our data centers are run, operated, and managed by Microsoft. So, all the SLA what Azure gives within the country, we kind of adhere to that. We adhere to most of the compliances also. So it- to add to that, from a customer perspective, what benefits we get to the table apart from a whole lot of other benefits, what we get to the table. Key ones are our data centers are localized. So we give absolute 100% data residency. The data will not go out of the country. And obviously, that is a huge advantage and a mental relief to a lot of customers who are in highly regulated industries such as pharma, BFSI, government, and so on and so forth. So that is what I would look at it. To answer your second question, do we have a reserve instance with RIs 1 year and 3 years? So, Afroz, we started JioCloud services, last year, and the idea and the intent is to kind of keep it as simple as possible. So, as Yash had commented sometime before that, we can give a long-term pricing based on pay-as-you-go model. So, the idea is to kind of not lock in any customer for any benefits what the customers want. Maybe at a later point, we would look at having RIs. But at this point of time, the way we would do the construct is we will work with you based on a requirement. We can give you a 1 or 3 year, commercial construct, which gives you a pricing advantage, but at the same time gives you a huge mental relief in terms of giving it to you as a pay-as-you-go model. So, I would leave it at that. Last question, Anurag. So, there are no data centers out of India, am I right? Absolutely, Anurag. At this point of time, Geo strategy is the JioCloud platform strategy is to kind of serve India, and that is what we are focusing on. We might build a few more data centers within the country as time progresses, and as we kind of start serving more and more customers. Maybe at a later date, we don't have visibility at this point of time. There might be a business opportunity where we might look at building data centers out of the country. So but at this point of time, no. So yes, so if there are customers who have instances or who run workloads out of India, and there is a minimal or low latency required, obviously we do not have the limit. So currently this is primarily India Cloud Services Initiative. Thank you.
Uh, just to add to that, that does not stop you from, let's say, you need a data center, say, in Oregon in the US, or say in Singapore in Asia, or somewhere in Africa, or somewhere in Europe. We are also the Microsoft authorized reseller for all their data centers, which means we can provide you Microsoft Azure data center there. So you don't have to worry that you have to go to somebody else for that, and it will fulfill only the Indian requirement. But we don't have our own data center.
Yeah, yes. We do not have any more questions. Do we have any questions? So if we can ask them, we can just wait for another 2 minutes.
So while we wait for any more questions, team, I would like to propose something. So, as a part of our offerings, if you have any specific requirements, any specific workloads, or as an organization, you are looking. So while we wait for any more questions, team, I would like to propose something. So, as a part of our offerings, if you have any specific requirements, any specific workloads, or as an organization, you are looking at evolving or initiating your cloud journey, we also, on a case-to-case basis, offer POC through our partner network Techlab. So I would humbly request that if there are any specific workloads, any environments which you are wanting to create on cloud and you want to test the JioCloud platform, kindly reach out to Network Tech Lab team and they would work with us to provision a POC environment for you. This POC environment is purely, for testing purposes for you, and it is at a no cost, no obligation basis for you as a customer. So we are not asking any LOI, we are not asking any commitment. So, please share your requirements with the Network Tech Lab team. They will work with us. We will initiate a POC environment for you, which you can test both as to how cloud, fits into your environment, and second, how JioCloud also serves you from a platform perspective. Thank you.
And one unique thing about our POC is that we don't give you a separate sandbox environment. For example, so what happens is tomorrow your POC is successful and you want to deploy, you don't have to go back and redeploy everything again. The same POC can be converted into a production environment for you. So that makes it a little easier.
Yeah, yes, that is nice. Because once we do all the efforts and again we have to put all the efforts, that becomes difficult task for from the management perspective. So
Yes.
I mean that is the best point that we have.